Hello, this is Mama Bear TV, and I did not get on and record yesterday for the Purpose Driven Life. Yesterday was day 3, and today is day 4, and I'll go ahead and go over my responses for chapter 3 and chapter 4. So, Purpose Driven Life. Chapter 3, which I hope someone is following along, or that this motivates somebody one day to do this for their own life. Chapter 3 is what drives your life. So basically talking about most people are driven by guilt, people are driven by resentment and anger, people are driven by fear, people are driven by materialism, people are driven by the need for approval. Knowing your purpose gives meaning to your life. Knowing your purpose simplifies your life.
You got 2 pills?
And knowing your purpose prepares you for eternity. And
Try and find me.
there's a lot more. Obviously, I'm just briefly going over this in summary.
Answer.
So the verse to remember from day 3, living on purpose is the path to peace. You, Lord, give perfect peace to those who keep their purpose firm and put their trust in you. What would my family and friends say is the driving force of my life? What do I want it to be? Well, definitely, a lot of you who know me, I would definitely say that for a huge part of my life, I don't think necessarily so much anymore, but a huge part of my life for a long time was the need for approval from my parents. Definitely. I've always wanted them to be proud of me. I've always wanted them to approve of me. I've always been somewhat of an overachiever because I feel like I could never make them proud, and I could never be enough, and I was never worthy and could never earn their love. And I did a lot of stuff to disappoint them. I was definitely a troublemaker. I definitely had very hard, troubled ways for a time period of my life. And then even as an adult, my early years, as an adult, I still wanted to, I guess, kind of make up for a lot of wrongs that I had done and seek their approval. And I would and would not do certain things based on, I know, how they would feel and what they would think. And seriously, that drove me to burnout. I just felt burnt out, and I felt like I missed a lot of opportunities. And I just kind of realized when I started working on myself and getting closer to Jesus that I don't live for anybody's approval. I don't live for a validation from anybody. I mean, granted, those are my parents, and I love them and respect them and adore them with all my heart. But at the same time, I'm God's baby girl. Yes, I'm their baby girl, but I'm God's and they're God's, and I have my purpose here on this earth, just like they have their purpose on earth. My son is playing Fortnite in the background, so if you hear him wilding out, that's what he's doing. But anyways, so yeah, my purpose. Oh, and also definitely, my motivation was definitely materialism. I wanted to be rich. I want to be rich so I can buy and have whatever I want. And resentment and anger, I wanted to prove to everybody why I am worthy of the things that I want, and why the people who are mean to me, or the people who put me down, haha, look at me now, look at you and look at me, y'all ain't nothing, and I'm over here achieving and accomplishing. And yeah, I wasted a lot of energy, a lot of my time, a lot of my focus and energy on not really the right things. Even though I have achieved a lot, I've realized that my identity and my worth is not in my career. It's not in how much money I have. It's not in the items that I have. And it's not in like the people in my life, you know? I hope that makes sense. Somebody can relate and understand. Okay, so today, chapter 4, day 4, made to last forever. God has planted eternity in the human heart.
Whoa, where did you come from?
Ecclesiastes 3:11.
Chill.
So basically, what this chapter is about is this life is not all there is. That this life is like a blink, a second compared to our life in eternity. That this is the pre-rehearsal for what we were really made for. And that a huge reason why a lot of us fear death and wish and desire to live forever is because we are made in God's image, and God has made us, created us to live for eternity. But that eternity is with Him. Depending on how we live our lives here on earth. So, day 4. There is more to life than just here and now. And the verse to remember: this world is fading away along with everything it craves. But if you do the will of God, you will live forever. 1 John 2:17. And the question to consider: since I was made to last forever, what is the one thing I should stop doing and the one thing I should start doing today? So going, I don't even know. I'm like so exhausted. I don't know if you could tell, but I have a lot going on, like with my health and with my kids, and missing my husband a lot. We had court yesterday, and it did not go as we expected, which, there you go. Expectations or premeditated resentment. You expect something, you're almost always going to get let down.
Change your planet to...
So what I'm realizing is I need to
Change your planet to Gucci.
stop doing and start doing.
Our planet to...
I feel like as much as I have God and my like recovery and being a mother and being a wife, I feel like sometimes I place too much of my identity in those titles, and rather than just like focusing on myself here today. So one thing that I struggle doing is self-care and self-love. I've learned a lot about that, and I've gained a lot of tools and how to nurture and love myself. But honestly, it's like one of my least favorite things to do. And I don't know why. That's kind of like funny and ironic when I think about it, because it's like I live with myself every day. I see myself every single day. Like, I'm the one person that I'm in contact with every single day. So why wouldn't I want to be good to myself and nurture myself and treat myself? Like, I don't know. And I believe that I've burnt up a lot of my energy foolishly. Like, I was the type of person forever to wake up in the morning with a list of 100 things to do, and if I got 90 out of 100 done, I felt like a failure, and I pushed myself to do 110 the next day. And it was like at the end of every single day, I was burnt out and exhausted, so exhausted. And that's one of the things that I was talking about in these chapters is God gives us just enough time to do His will for us. And if we are doing too much that are not His will, then we're burning energy foolishly trying to force things that we really shouldn't be taking on. Like, I feel like something else I'm learning about is like boundaries and how to say no, even if it's like good activities, pruning some of those out, because just because an activity or a service is good to do, it could be taken away from my purpose. because my purpose is not to make everybody happy. It's not to appease everybody, and it's not to do something and everything that's going to make me look good and get recognized.
24.
So I definitely need to, I've been taking time, I've been sleeping the last couple of days because I have just been so exhausted and just like trying to keep myself going, and my body finally just shut down and was like, no, you're sleeping. So I was resting, and I'm definitely taking, like, this book and everything, this journey is like taking me by surprise. I'm definitely reflecting and meditating more about me, Christina, not like just the wife and just the mother and the daughter and the church member, like God's daughter, Jesus's princess. What am I here for? Like, I have these desires and these goals, but okay, what is the foundation? Why do I have these goals? What is the purpose? Is that my true calling? And am I doing and seeking that for the glory of Jesus or for the glory of my own pride and ego? So definitely, I feel like healing and working and nurturing on myself is just as physically exhausting as when I exercise. So
Oh, we're on the same team. Oh, let's go. This way.
it's good though. I have a lot of support. I have a lot of love. I mean, I don't know. I guess I kind of thought this would be like super cool and awesome and fun, and it's like, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. So that is that. And I think why it's so deep for me because simultaneously I'm also reading, which I encourage and suggest, this book, Boundaries, which basically is about, are you in control of your life? People often focus so much on being loving and giving that they forget their own limits. Hello. Which a lot of people would even say and argue that my health conditions came from me doing too much, trying to be there too much for other people, and stressing and worrying about other people, and spreading myself way too thin, like working in college and kids, and like, ugh. It's just, I don't know. So I did not even realize that I had a problem with boundaries. I did not even realize that I struggled with them until I started reading this book, and it's like, oh wow, like I think that way, or I feel that way, or I've done these type of things. And so I am like, I like to take notes, highlight, and underline when things like stick out to me. I'm one of those types of readers. I get super involved. So this book has been pretty good, and I have realized, wow, okay, so I really do have trouble with boundaries. I have problems with boundaries, and I thought I was good with that because, I mean, I'm very vocal. I can be very assertive when necessary, and I have no problem, like, like, not letting anyone push me around and walk all over me. But what I've learned also is that when I care and love somebody, and when I have like a passion in my heart for something, that's when I struggle to say no. I struggle to say no, to limit myself, when really I should make time to rest, make time to be alone. And that's another thing that I'm realizing too, is I feel like I'm in a season of needing to be alone. And I'm like running and like trying to fight that by filling my time with like spending time with other people, trying to like connect in these different relationships with my friends, and like do different types of service in the community, and like cleaning my house, and like everything is just, I feel like I'm finally accepting right now. I think it's very important that I accept and take hold of this alone time. So that's another huge like a revelation awakening that I'm going to be taking advantage of is focusing, reading, meditating, and like when I'm home, like I want to clean. Like I need to cook, I need to clean, you know, I'm going over this, that, my to-do list, and I need to just be.
I got CQ.
It's okay that everything isn't spotless. It's okay that I haven't folded the laundry and it's just sitting there. Like I could do that later, you know. What's important is my peace and my health, and I definitely believe I'm at a season in my life at 28 years old where I'm ready and seeking and desiring my true purpose and my true calling, which I do believe is in the mental behavioral health field as an RN, as well as aesthetics, for overall health, beauty, and wellness. Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, like self-care, self-love, like that's my passion, that's my purpose that I want to contribute to the world.
Sure.
So how can I encourage and be an enthusiast of this if I don't have it? So I'm on this journey, and it's a beautiful, hot mess. So definitely boundaries and purpose-driven life. I think this had a cover, but I don't remember, so I don't know. But this is what it is, and I hope that this helps somebody, and that at least one person decides to pick up these books and it helps change their life. So thank you for watching. I don't know if anyone's watching, but thank you if you are. Thank you for your love and support. I really appreciate you, and I'm pretty excited and calm and content about seeing where this journey takes me. See what happens what transpires over these next 40 days. So my current reads Boundaries and Purpose-Driven Life. If you have not read these books, I highly suggest and encourage these books for self-development and spiritual purpose, for emotional and mental peace. This is a 40-day journey, and this is, I mean, read it at your own pace, whatever, but I'm doing these simultaneously to walk this journey of self-peace and revelation and purpose, finding on my path. So I hope that each of you will take the time to do this for yourself.